She was hate him so much, but after he's done the 500 push-ups trick that the editor do every day, so he became ripped, and she really admire him now. What an accident, it's obviously not the muscles, guys. Anyways guys, subscribe to make the editor do 1000 push-ups with one finger. Our main characters in this anime are these siblings. The older sister is called Ritsuki, while the little brother is called Kyoya. It seems like both of them do not get along with each other that well. In addition, they find each other annoying and nosy as well. One day when she got back home from school, she found out that he is home, and he even brought his friend here. She is very angry at him for just existing and asked him to go out and touch some grass. Speaking of grass, I think it's time for the editor to touch some too. Anyways, he does not give about her and roasts her while he's at it. That made her even angrier, and she left the living room. After that, her friend is envious of her for having such a handsome brother. In the meantime, his friend did not expect that he would have such a beautiful sister. However, both of them have no idea what the hell their friends are talking about. Anyway, here's a flashback. It looks like both of them are getting along with each other just fine when they are little. However, puberty happened and their relationship has become worse ever since that time. As a result, they always argue whenever they meet each other. Finally, an anime that is close to reality. Moving on, it suddenly rains when she is walking back home, and she is completely drenched. When she enters her home, she realizes that he just got back too and his upper body is in his default skin. She is surprised when she saw that, and she is admiring his well-trained body. He asked her to stop that, but there is not much he can do since she is a woman in 2024, so she cannot be cancelled. Anyway, he told her off and she became flustered. After that, he accidentally bumped into her and that actually knocked her down. After that, when she is in her room, she did not expect that he would grow up to be such a fine man and he is totally her type. Well, I guess she is going to fall to the Alabama site soon. Suddenly, he opened the door because privacy. That surprised her, and she launched a pillow toward his face. It seems like she has sprained her ankle after getting knocked down by him just now, and their mom wants him to check on her. He is reluctant at first, but he has no choice but to obey his mom. She told him that she might not walk properly for now, and she could not go to school for a few days. Then she told him that he should atone for his mistake by giving her a massage. He got angry at her, but he knew that it is his fault, so he gives in to her request. In the end, when he is atoning for his mistake, he realized that she has grown in all the right places and she has the superior genes, unlike the editor. At that moment, he could feel the entire Alabama population cheering for him. After a while, he begins to use his god hand and she asked him to stop. She noticed that something is rising, but it is not the shield hero. She called out to him for that, and he told her that her dungeon is learning waterbending instead, so he continued his god's work. Despite all of that, she does not kick him away and allows him to continue his apology. He kept using rapid finger strikes on her dungeon. After a while, she has spawned a lot of family-friendly holy water, which is enough to solve water shortage in Africa. After that, she felt like her dungeon needs to get explored by someone. Well, she is lucky because the family-friendly protein man is right in front of her. Although she is reluctant at first, she has fallen to the Alabama site eventually, and gave him the family dungeon pass. Therefore, he immediately charged into the family-oriented dungeon without any protective gear because she is his family. After exploring the dungeon for a while, he used Protein Blast and gave her some family-size protein shake as an apology for bumping into her. At that moment, they could hear their dad got home, and she asked him to stop their family bonding session immediately. After that, she quickly explained to him that she just broke up, so she needs someone to explore her dungeon and he is just being used by her. He does not really care about that at all. On the next day, their parents told them that they are going on a trip for one night, just mean that both of them will be alone, and she has no idea what is going to happen. Despite carrying out the family bonding activities, their relationship is still the same as usual. Perhaps they need more to fix their relationship. Well, that is the end of my recap for this cultural anime. This anime currently has one episode only. If I'm not mistaken, Episode 2 will be released in June. By the way, this is a completely different anime. Although it doesn't have family bonding sessions, it is still very wholesome. This anime is about a wholesome relationship between a married couple. If you like vanilla and romance, then this anime is just for you. The story begins when the husband received a phone call from his mother during dinner. After he hangs up, she wants to know what did they talk about. He informed her that his mom wants to have a grandchild soon. After she heard that, she suddenly has a sad expression. Well, they are in Japan, so her reaction is understandable. After dinner, both of them chatted with each other. However, she realized that he has fallen asleep. She quickly wakes him up because both of them are going to watch the sunrise together. He told her that he is just taking a short nap, so there is nothing to worry about. However, she knew that his short nap will turn into a long sleep, so she insists on waking him up. In the end, she couldn't wake him up. Therefore, she used all of her brain cells and thought of an idea. She is going to wake him up by performing an eco-cleaning on his Excalibur. You guys can do that in real life too. Just remember to say no homo and wear socks, then you are good to go. Anyways, she starts to roleplay as a Dyson vacuum cleaner and carry out a New Year cleaning on his Excalibur. After a while, he is not the only one who has woken up. His Excalibur is wide awake too and it is ready for battle. He found out that she is doing a spring cleaning on his Excalibur the climate-friendly way. At that moment, he thought that spring is coming, but he is the one who is coming instead, so he gave her a lot of fresh homemade protein shake as payment for her eco-cleaning. In addition, she has achieved her objective, which is waking him up. To make matters even more wholesome, his Excalibur is still wide awake too, so I guess they will do the protein time later. As expected, she informed him that both of them should do the protein time so they can have their own child. Fortunately, he felt the same way too, so the protein time is good to go. Before that, she suddenly got nervous because this might be their first time doing protein time for reproduction purpose. Then he begins the wholesome moment by exploring her dungeon using his mighty Excalibur. Obviously, he is not using any protective gear during the dungeon exploration since he is actually ready to pay child support. Anyways, the wholesome protein time lasted for around 7 minutes in the anime. In the end, he gave her a lot of fresh homemade protein pie, which is enough to last for weeks. She also hopes that her first child is a boy. Well, she is going to get cancelled in the land of freedom for determining the gender of her offspring. Fortunately, she is in Japan, so there is no such ridiculous thing. Anyhow, that is a wholesome happy ending right there.